To get to ToteBoarding, go to the Tools menu, and from the drop down, click on ToteBoarding. When ToteBoarding launches, you get to a screen that's called the Race Hub. And in this screen, you can see the races listed chronologically, with the race that's coming up soon is listed first. In this case, it's Aqueducts Race 1, followed by Gulfstream Race 1, Tampa Race 1. This one's 13 minutes from post, and this one's 31 minutes from post. The odds of each horse here is listed, and it's updated live. You can also click on video and watch the feed from the track. To select a race, just click on the title of it. So we'll take a look at Aqueduct. And from this you get into the actual ToteBoarding screen, where you can get information about the odds, the Exacta will pays, and place bets if you have an Xpressbet account. Real quickly, some of the features in ToteBoarding. On the left hand side of the screen you see something called the Exacta Totem. This displays all of the Exacta combinations and what they're going to pay. It starts off by listing the lowest paying combination first, all the way down to the highest paying combination. Each one of these has a probability and a value. The probability of this, what the odds are currently, win odds are of each horse involved in the Exacta. This 5-7 combination currently has a probability of 5.26% and a value of 0.39. Value determines if the Exacta is a good bet or bad bet based on what it's paying. Something that has a value of 1 is exactly a fair proposition in terms of the probability. You can sort by probability. Something that has a high value is a good bet in terms of the probability. In this case, 1.62 means that this is paying 62% more than fair value. At the other end of the spectrum, 0.39, this one's only paying, well, now it's 0.40, only paying 40% of what it should actually pay, based on being 5.3% chance of happening. On the right hand side of the screen, going to the right here, we see a list of all the horses. By default, they're listed from favorite on top to long shot on the bottom. You see the horse's name, the morning line odds for each horse, and the current live odds. And again, these are all updated live while betting's happening on that race. Next column is the daily double percentage, the Exacta percentage, and the win percentage. This is the amount of money, the percent of money on each horse in each respective pool. When they're highlighted, this is showing you that there's a discrepancy in the amount of money. So right now, for example, horse number 7 has 25.4% of the daily double pool, but only 18% of the win pool. This can tell you a couple of things. One, first of all, is where to bet the horse. The lower the percentage, if you like the horse, that's the pool to play in. You're getting better odds or better value for your money. And it also lets you know that some of these horses, being 9 minutes to post right now, this typically will even out. So if you think that you're going to end up with 3-1 on a horse like this, that's probably not going to happen based on how much it's being bet in the double pool. Currently, number 7 has 25% of the double pool, which is the most. So this horse is likely to become the post time favorite if these trends hold up. You see the amount of money in the pool, and as the tote is updated, you will see these change with each new amount of money that came in on that horse. The next two tables over here talk about horses in races like this. What is the typical chances of winning if you're the favorite? And in this case, for a race like this at Aqueduct, mile, so it's a 6.5 furlong dirt maiden claiming race. The favorite usually wins 41% of the time, and the longest shot in a 7-horse field would only win 1.5% of the time. Same information over here, but this is based on races that have similar odds patterns as this one. And this will also update and change as the odds over here change. This table right here will not change. It's based on this race type at this race tag. Down here at the bottom you see some tabs: place bet, my bets, etc. If you were to select a bunch of horses over here, and this is the Exacta combinations you wanted to play, you see information about these selected combinations. Right now it shows you all of the ones that you've selected and the amount that you're going to bet on them. It tells you up here that you have 10 of the 42 possible combinations, which is covering 23.8% of the possible combinations. Your payout range from the lowest paying to the highest paying. The probability of hitting this exacta based on the number you have selected, and the average value of the exactas you have selected. If I select a bunch of them, and I'm just clicking and dragging on this column over here, I can watch the probability, and if I drag it down to something that's approximately 60% coverage, I can see that my total bet would be $26. My lowest payout is $7.70. Highest payout is $115. If I want to make sure that I'm placing the correct amount on each combination so that I don't lose money, I can hit the Run Wager Wizard, and it would come back and make the adjustments necessary for me to break even on this. If I wanted to ensure that I made a $20 profit, for example, again, I would hit Run Wager Wizard, and it would resize the bets so that if I hit this exacta, any one of these came in, I'd be guaranteed to make at least a $20 profit. Keep in mind that this changes as the odds change, so you may need to hit this over and over. Closest to post time is best. Betting it too far in advance will be a problem if you're trying to hit a certain profit margin. On the right, we have some filters. I'll explain those in a second, but we also have the ability over here for you to, of course, watch the race. If you click on the video button, you can see the race as it's happening. The filtering options over here, if I turn that on, this allows you to select only certain exacta combinations that meet the criteria you're looking at. So if I wanted to find exactas that paid a minimum of $20, as you can see as I move the slider, certain ones are being highlighted. Right now there's nothing paying over $120. So if I have a range of 165 to 400, nothing would be there. As I drop it down again, now I'm seeing some the higher paying exactas paying $85 or more. Same thing will happen on probability. If I want to look for exacta probabilities greater than 2%, it highlights those. And then same thing on value. I can make selections over here. And as these combinations are updated with odds changes, the ones that are highlighted will also change. Another option we have down here is for filtering. If I wanted to look at combinations that just had the favorite on top, I could click on just the 5 on top, and now I see only combinations with horse number 5 on top. If I wanted the top 2 choices, I could add 5 and 7 over there. Now I'm seeing all of the combinations with 5 and 7 on top. I can also do that with them on bottom. I can pick 2 horses that I want to see on the bottom. So these are all the combinations with the 5 and the 7 on the bottom. If you're interested in playing a 4-horse exacta box, for example, let's say I wanted to bet the 1, 2, 3, 4. I put those in both spots, and now over here I see all of the combinations that contain the 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is a typical 4-horse exacta box. And I could also optimize that. Instead of betting the same amount on each combination, I could run the wager wizard and see that in order for me to break even, I would have to bet more on certain combinations in that totem. Some of the other, once you've placed your bets with an Xpressbet account, you can see that in the My Bets column. It shows you which ones you have, and then allows you to cancel them. If I were to make these bets right now, hit place bet. As the bet is accepted, you see a check mark come in, and then the bets over here are displayed. And then I can also cancel them. We have some odds history on the horses as they're changing throughout time from before post time, and these will adjust as we get closer to post time. You'll see the graph move up and down. Race stats is specific to this race type. When that loads, it tells you in a race like this how often certain horses win it and which quartile the exactas are typically found in. If you're a Betmix customer, you can also get the PP information for this particular race to appear in this window. There's some handicapping options or handicapping information available to you. And then finally, we have another button for opening in Bird Dog. Also, if you're a Betmix customer, you can open this race in Bird Dog. That's it for ToteBoarding. That's the basics of it. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.